Namaste, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome back one final time for this NFL season. Going to be a long off season, over 200 days. But we have a lot to look forward to. ICC T20 just kicked off. That's cricket for people who don't watch. Olympics just kicked off. Basketball trade deadline just ended. Stay tuned for the next jump off. I mean, the January transfer window just ended for soccer, so there's a lot more to look forward to. Soccer World Cup coming to the States in the summer, so a lot to look forward to. But yeah, let's get on with the biggest game in hand, going down right now. I mean, probably at this time, it's going to be around halftime. We are, we are in the Bay, but it's that time when it should be around halftime, like I mentioned. But let me stop blabbering about this and let's get on to the game. First of all, it's been a great week in the Bay. Shout out to the NFL, the way that, actually finally embraced the Bay again. Maybe it was the, like the politics and everything else surrounding San Francisco and the Bay that kind of, probably cost the Bay Super Bowls before, but it is back with a bang, and it has, since day one in San Jose Convention Center, it kicked off well. It was a great time seeing some of the players, interacting with some of them. Shout out to Ernest Jones, man of the people, and that's where we are headed to. In this one, we are picking the Seahawks just to kind of get that out of the way. Why do I say that? Let's start off with the coaching. It is Vrabel's first year. Defensive coordinator, unfortunately, was diagnosed with a cancer that can bring the squad together, but they, barely built that relationship with him maybe 6 months ago. Some of the guys, maybe they had a relationship prior, but most of the guys coming into the building that are new, which most are, they barely started building their relationships, and it goes far away. You could see how far they have came in their togetherness to get this far. Luck has definitely played a factor as well. I don't want to, just get past that, but at the same time, it has been their togetherness really that, has brought them all the way to another Super Bowl, even without it being Tom Brady. And then, Mike Vrabel, yes, he is experienced against Mike McDonald, who, it's his first Super Bowl. Let's see how he handles it. At the same time, it is Vrabel's first Super Bowl as a head coach as well. It's, there are a lot of things that he has to, take care of that he didn't have to so far. AFC Championship with the Titans was as far as he had reached. First year, now that, expectations are going to be very high back in New England. So all of that is going to, start coming in over the course of the next few years once they see, hey, why are we not getting back to the AFC Championship? It's not that easy, but the expectation is going to stay there now. Then we move on. Offensive coordinator, Josh McDaniels. I have all the respect in the world. I think he is probably top 3, if not top 5, offensive coordinators of all time. His rings speak for themselves. As a head coach, he is absolutely horrendous, as we could see. He cannot lead men, and it's really as simple as that. And that's what kind of gives me, a little bit of question mark, I guess, or a little bit of anxiety in terms of Clint Kubiak, because I don't know if he is a leader of men. People could say that he is a first-time head coach, but you already know that's the future. Fernando Mendoza, Clint Kubiak. But let's get to, let's get into the Seattle head coaches. What I mean, Mike McDonald, we talked about, he sets the tone. Similar to that, I kind of see like, a little younger Mike Tomlin there. He kind of gave that offense to Clint Kubiak to figure it out. He did. And then on the defensive side, it's his imprint, but he has also given it to Dirty to kind of, make it his defense as well. So he has the philosophy, but it's probably Dirty's defense. He is still there. Same thing with Vrabel, being a defensive end, outside linebacker. His philosophy, Bill Belichick philosophy, but you let the defensive coordinator run the show, and it has worked out phenomenally. Last year too, they had 10 wins. Let's not forget that. With Geno Smith, they had 10 wins. People are enamored with Sam Darnold's 14 wins. Yes, if we literally had something functional, I am still on Geno Smith boat. I he's not going to be a Raiders quarterback anymore, but I do not blame him for the misfortunes of last season. He is not the reason why we suffered through all that we did. And to get through that suffering, we needed him to kind of, lead us through that. And then you move on. You want to look into the quarterback in this one. You have Drake May. You would think, being an MVP candidate, but that was for the regular season. Let's not get caught up in the moment. The 3 games that he has played in the playoffs, he is about 50% passing. He has fumbles, he has picks. He has not played to the MVP level. Yes, the games have had weather issues with it being in England first and then in Denver, but you faced the Chargers offense without any offensive tackle. You faced Houston offense without any offensive line really for both teams. You could say I'm just making excuses, but it is what it is. And then Denver without their starting quarterback. Yes, you probably still beat them with those guys, but that didn't happen. And you've really not even scored 20 points in the playoffs, if I am not mistaken. With this Seattle defense, I do not anticipate you scoring 20 on them. While, now let's get into the Seattle offense side. You have a Cooper Kupp to watch out for. You have an AJ Barnard to watch out for. You have Elijah Arroyo who returned from injury that you better watch out for. I don't know. Who else do you want to look for? Torrey Horton, he probably comes back, has a play. Rashid Shaheed, he's probably going to come back, have a play. Jake Bobo, he might come back and have a play or two. Like, there's so many weapons, and all of them are being utilized that you cannot focus. See who I did not even mention? Yes, the nearly 2,000-yard receiver. Yes, I am talking about Jackson Smith-Njigba. Even I can say it right. Shout out Drewski. But yeah, that's where we are with it. The offense is just humming phenomenally. Defense, I mean, historic. Like, as soon as they started performing, we already started, pointing the fingers back to the Legion of Doom defense, Legion of Boom. That's where we kind of, take this all the way back to that Super Bowl at the 1-yard line. It was a ... with ellipsis. Right now is when we kind of put it over the top and, get that revenge in a sense. Yes, it's not Tom Brady. No, it's not Bill Belichick. But you still get that revenge against that same jersey on the other side. And it's Robert Kraft, same thing. And, once this happens, for Robert Kraft, in a sense, you actually have a, bigger question mark, in a sense, because, hey, Bill Belichick didn't go first ballot. Robert Kraft didn't go first ballot, but then the questions will come up. Without cheating, does Robert Kraft have Super Bowls? Hey, I'm not saying anything, but it is all alleged. But that's what the voting system came down to. So it's going to be interesting to see, what the future entails for that. But out of the two, opponents, in a sense, because that AFC West rivalry with the Seahawks, was still there. And then you have the Patriots who, I mean, the history since Tucker kind of, just veered off each other's courses, What the Raiders should have been is what the Patriots are, unfortunately. And with the perception of cheaters that we used to be labeled with because of, some other stuff. But now it's with the Patriots and everything else. And it is what it is. But it's not that, hate or dislike or any of the negativeness that it comes out of. If we're being realistic, Stephon Diggs on one side, cool. But outside of that, which weapons? I mean, yeah, Ramondre Stevenson, but is he really a running back that you take over K9? I doubt it. Trayvon Henderson, yes, he has flashes, but he has not even put a game together, respectfully. If he put a game together, not 2 or 3 games in a row. So in the sense, I'm saying he is not a running back you can rely to win a Super Bowl. It's the biggest game of the year. Outside of that, which weapons do you really have to rely on? Hunter Henry, sure, but Nicky Manure is going to be on him, and or Ernest Jones, Julian Love, and then the outside weapons, like I mentioned, it's Diggs, maybe Boutte, but he's going to have to probably deal with, probably a Witherspoon, if not a Woolen. Yeah, maybe, at times you could maybe get Woolen a little bit more animated and get him out of his flow, like in the NFC Championship, but that could have been more like they had the bad blood with a divisional rival. So we have to see what it is, because if he makes a play, if he makes a moment, now he just got a little bit more money coming up in the offseason. Probably not there, somewhere else. And then when you look at pass rushers, Seattle's built the way that the Eagles were when they had to take down Patrick Mahomes. They have rushers after rushers after rushers. On the interior, you have Leonard Williams and Byron Murphy. They're going to hold it down. You have a Shaq Barrett. You have a DeMarcus Lawrence. I'm sorry. And you have all the other guys that will rotate in and out, and then bam, you should have 4 guys that just get home every time. Like I mentioned, Emmanuel and Ernest Jones, they take care of that middle, and then you have corners and safeties that can hold it down. Similarly to that of the Patriots as well, but like I mentioned, this is a build from last year. This is not a year one thing. The success for the Patriots is absolutely phenomenal in year one, but is it going to be replicated for years to come through? Like Patriots fans, woo, we're back in the Super Bowl. But what if you go another 10 years without getting back to the Super Bowl again? Was it going to be worth it for this year? You know, because like the 3 games that you won, you know, did it really feel great to win? You guys have won better in a better manner and stuff like that. So, hey, that's where I'm with it. I am taking the Seahawks, obviously, in this one. Sam Darnold, 70%. Drake May, 50%. Has better weapons. Cooper Kupp probably going to be Super Bowl MVP just to show the Los Angeles Rams that he had not lost a step. And it is you guys that lost, you know, in the end, because you could have had your second Super Bowl, but guess who had it? Seattle Seahawks in the division. And we keep it moving. Biggest last question for me that I feel like nobody has really addressed is if K9 is to get hurt, even if it's, you know, just for a play, or if it's for, you know, a series, if it's for a quarter, if it's for a half, what is going to be their answer? Are you going to rely on George Holani to give you a running game to, you know, possibly set up a passing game? I don't think so. Is Sam Darnold going to be able to, you know, be relied upon in the biggest moment against a secondary that's pretty good? It might have to be coming down to his arm if K9 is to get hurt. Or do you put, even if it, since it is the biggest game of the year, possibly a Jalen Milroe back there, you know, just a wildcat as a running back, possibly. I don't know. But yeah, like, what is going to be the answer? That's definitely going to, you know, be something that I keep an eye on, because the depth after, and Charbonnet, his contributions for this season should definitely be mentioned. So that is something that I do want to keep an eye on, to focus on for the Super Bowl. But Super Bowl back in the Bay after a decade. I hope it does not take this long. I hope NFL had fun. Just, I mean, Radio Row sounded, you know, pretty lit for everybody. Maybe next time, hopefully your boy gets in there as well. So till next time, you already know what it is. Stay tuned for a football frenzy. Stay tuned for Jump Up. Maybe we get into a little bit of UFC, maybe a little bit of WWE. I might even get into some ICC. We are going to see what it is. Olympics, you already know. Red, white, and blue all the way. Probably going to pull that. Unfortunate loss to India today, but that's like, you know, going from playing as Alabama playing, you know, Kansas City Chiefs in a sense. There's levels to it. We're going to get better, and we'll see what happens in the future. Till next time, you already know what it is. Thank you, everyone who has tuned in this season. I know I might have been annoying at times. I might have, you know, just blabbed on like this, but you guys still stayed tuned in, showed love, however it may have been. And then we're back. We're going to be back with all the videos, like I mentioned. A little bit more videos coming through. And yeah, let's go. Seattle Seahawks. Two-time Super Bowl champion.